I think that developers making social impact games have a lot of hopes for their games, from just consciousness raising about an issue. So for example, of ending poverty or a particular political crisis, trying to bring attention to something, all the way to really raising funds, raising communities around social issues and building real-world kinds of structures to support social change.
What would you say to people who would be very skeptical about whether games and play can create social change? What's the argument that you would make to those folks?
Well, I would look at the power of games in general in our culture and say, well, if millions and millions of people get online after work to play a game, what if you could harness that power for another purpose? And what if you could incorporate learning and social activism in something you already enjoy doing? I mean, it's really about building your communities and strengthening, the culture that you're in, depending on what the game is. And I think you can really see that the energy around playing games is something that could be vital to affect some real world issue and to think about and offer discourse among people who may not have had such conversations before. So it's an opportunity, I think.
Change comes about in many ways, through political action, through literature and film, sometimes just merely by accident. What is the mechanism by which games can change the world and improve problems?
Well, we have to have expectations of games like we would of other media. So for example, can one film change the world? To some people, that one film might, and for other people it may just be a process of learning or somewhere on a continuum of someone's education and passion. So I think that games also function in this way. We can't expect one game to change the world, but we can offer that game in a site of discourse with other kinds of media for social issues. But the interesting thing about games is that games also offer agency, and that's something that we don't have in a lot of other media, and that in itself is an empowering position to be in as a player, to be able to make choices and meaningful choices. So if we look at how games could offer interesting results for those meaningful choices that could even tie into outside world kinds of issues, for example, raising funds or even online gardening that would actually end up being cultivating something in the real world. There are a lot of possibilities, and we're just starting to tease out those connections.